And to go back to integration, um,
Hmm.
I think the MDMA session had the most profound impact on the rest of my life. I talked about this during my very first episode of this podcast. For anyone who hasn't listened to it, um, the part that was most impactful is that I went in there just to deal with this little bit of anxiety that had started developing over the last how many years, and I
Hmm.
had a period of like 2 or 3 hours during the 7 or 8 that I was in the session where I was mourning the death of my grandparents. And what I learned about that really taught me a lot about love that I didn't understand before. When I cut myself off to the pain of them of their passing, because I was living away, I didn't have a chance to come back to the funeral, and I think even if I could, I probably wouldn't have mourned to the extent that I did in the weeks or during the session and the weeks after, because even the week following the session, I just sat at my computer journaling. And I feel like I got a flood of memories back of my grandparents, and I was just sobbing at my computer going through all this. And
Wow.
it feels like I got all of these because I told the therapist what I was going through in the moment, and she said, "Do you feel like now that you're mourning them, you got to say goodbye?" And I say, "No, I feel like now I got them back." And I
Mm.
didn't realize that I had really cauterized that part of my brain to them, because and I know now that like you don't have an expert in negative emotions told me this, like you don't have love without sadness, and you can't choose which volume you turn down. You can't turn down sadness because it's convenient and it sucks, so you're just going to have love. That just doesn't work like that. And so if you turn down one, you turn down both. And so I feel like letting all of that out, that was so I didn't even know it was on the table for that session. It got me back a lot of the memories of them, a lot of their love, a lot of their closeness, and it's really changed the way that I think I approach a lot of people in my life that I do care about and that I do love. Um,
Mm.
and conversely, from the other session of MDMA and psilocybin, I don't really know what I took away. I mean, I feel a little bit closer to nature after that session, but nothing that I think affects how I interact with the world like the MDMA session did.
And it's interesting you talk about MDMA like that because it is spoken about as the heart opener.
Right,
MDMA releases all of our oxytocin and our love chemicals, and it's referred to as the love drug for that reason.
right.
It's such a powerful medicine, and if I was working for our government TGA, my suggestion would be that in mental health treatment, MDMA is commonly used